This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
No chance, right? Right, Cam? No shot you've seen Weird Science.
What movie?
Weird Science.
Oh, not a chance. Not a chance. What was that movie? I'm riding in an Uber. My Uber driver said he's seen it.
Of course. Normal human beings have seen it. You're not normal.
What year was this movie made?
In the 80s. In the 80s.
Oh, no chance.
It's Anthony Michael Hall.
My Uber driver said Sean Young is in that movie.
Yes, Sean Young is in that movie. What's her name? The one with the lips. She's gorgeous. God, smoking hot. Anyways, it's two kids.
Is that Sean Young?
No, not Sean Young. It's not Sean Young. It's oh God, come on, somebody help me on the chat board. Let's go. No, it's not Angelina Jolie. She does have great lips. She does have some of the best lips out there. Kelly LeBrock, thank you. Jesus Christ, Kelly LeBrock. So anyway, it's two kids. The house is left to them, and they want to create the perfect woman. So they get on a computer and they have bras on and everything, and it's adolescents. They're teenagers, and they come up with the perfect woman, and it's Kelly LeBrock, and she's gorgeous and smoking hot. And then there's this crazy party scene for the next, hour in the house, and it's funny. There it is. Yep. So we can imagine Mike McDaniel and his staff creating the game plan in Weird Science, because the offense is kind of weird science to everybody, and people are copying it. So the nickname Weird Science is now coming up with Greatest Show on Surf and all those other things for the Miami offense. So now you have homework. You've got to watch Weird Science now.
So my thing is, you had me watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Yeah.
And my thing with these movies are, do they age well? Because the reality is, I was not born in 1985. No, I do not know the culture of 1985.
Right.
And so usually movies before the 1990s are no-goes for me. And so is this going to be another movie that I watched that was good back in the day, but in this current day does not hit?
Do you like Home Alone?
Home Alone?
Yes.
Yes. Home Alone was a solid movie. That was right the early. Those are some of the earliest movies.
This is Home Alone. This is Home Alone with teenagers.
Home Alone with teenagers. Okay.
And Home. Have you watched Mad Max?
No.
You never watched Mad Max, Thunderdome, any of the Mad Max movies? Well, some of the Mad Max characters will come back in there, and so it's kind of like it's actually funny. It's like a Home Alone, but it's like kids that want to have a party in their house while the parents are gone. That kind of stuff.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Did you ever see Risky Business?
Is it funny for a 12-year-old watching in the 80s and 90s, or is it funny for me now in 2023?
It's funny for a teenager watching it, probably. Gotcha. And maybe a man that refuses to grow up.
Okay.
That's me, by the way. Just in case, just so you know. So I got
some kid in me. I'm willing to give it a shot. I will give it a shot.
Well, you have to give it.
I tried to give Fast Time at Ridgemont High.
No, that one doesn't fly. That one doesn't fly as much because the culture was different of that movie. This one, I think you will give it a chance because it's kind of fun. It's kids stuff.
I'll give it a shot.
Silliness.
I will put it on my list. I got to figure out where I can find it. It was 1985. I mean, it's not going to be on Netflix, and so I'm gonna have to search.
Oh no, you're wrong. You're wrong. It'll probably be on Netflix or what's the other one?
Hulu.
Amazon. Do you have Amazon Prime?
I have Amazon Prime. I have Hulu and Netflix.
It has to be, bro. It has to be. Weird Science is one of the It's on Hulu, Amazon Prime, YouTube TV.
Oh yeah.
And even YouTube regular. Yeah. So there you go. It's on Amazon.
Here's what I'll do then. I've got a 2-hour flight back to Miami. If I can get it on Hulu and download it, maybe that's what I'll watch on the way over. I was going to start Suits because that's another show I haven't seen.
I love
a lot of people tell me about it. So I was going to start Suits on the plane, but maybe I will watch Weird Science because you say it's hidden.
Yeah, it's 90 minutes of fun. You'll and plus the whole Mike McDaniel weird science thing.
Okay.
Patrick Downey Jr. is there,
Uh-huh.
Killian Rock, Anthony Michael Hall. I mean, there's a lot of famous actors in that movie, actually. Yeah, like you'll see after you're like, wow, oh, I know him, I know her, I know him, and all that. You're gonna go, wow, okay. But it's kind of a fun movie. I gotta say. And by the way, watching the Weird Science offense, and then you watch the rest of the NFL. Boy, you get spoiled as a Dolphins fan now, dude.
Absolutely, it's a competitive advantage, like coaching and scheme, and the way that Mike maximizes his guys is literally competitive advantage. Like I was here watching the Jaguars Saints last night, and I'll tell you what, the Saints offense needs some weird science or whatever Mike McDaniel is doing. Whatever they need a lot of weird science because man, I almost fell asleep watching that Saints offense last night. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I know.
There's not a lot of imaginative. There's not a lot of motion. I think they're worse in the league in motion, play action. It felt like a different league of football. Like I felt like I was just watching a different sport than the Dolphins do on a given Sunday.
Dude, Patriots, Jets, Atlanta, Tennessee, the Raiders. I mean, I could go on and on.
There's a lot of bad offensive football going on.
Yeah, dude, Arizona. Like, I mean,
people are calling it great defensive football, and maybe the defense is playing better, but it just seems like there's a offensive dip this year, and really one of the few anomalies is the Dolphins. The 49ers have been playing pretty solid. They play a little different style than the Dolphins. They run a lot of motion, but it's more of a power motion running style game where the Dolphins is more speed oriented. The Eagles don't run motion much, but they have a little bit of excitement because of how they do their scheme. And Detroit's been pretty exciting as well. But other than that, there hasn't been a lot of like offenses that I like get excited about. And so there's a dip in the league, and Mike McDaniel is taking advantage of it. And I definitely think it is a competitive advantage that he is doing things that other coaches don't. In fact, like Nick Sirianni, we were talking about the Eagles. Nick Sirianni, I heard him talk earlier this week and said they took some plays from the Dolphins scheme last year and used it in their scheme. That's not something that's unique. Kyle Shanahan mentioned he took the exit motion they do with Tyreek and put it in his scheme earlier this year. The Rams did as well. And so when you're creating an offense that's innovative enough that people have to steal your ideas and plays, that should tell you that you are the forward-thinking coach that maybe the rest of the league should be trying to emulate.
Have you seen Tua Tagovailoa, a prophecy in the making?
Have I seen? I mean, I've always believed in him, so it's not really a prophecy for me. But I will say,
have you watched the special? Have you watched the 50-minute special?
Oh no!
Dude, scratch weird science. Watch that prophecy. After you watch. You need to watch.
In the making.
You need
give me a lot of homework on the weekend, Big O.
No. I'm Cam. It's 50 of the best minutes of your life of TV watching you will ever have, my brother. Okay, it's video of him.
Prophecy in the making.
It's called Tua Tagovailoa, a prophecy in the making, my brother.
Gotcha.
They have video of him from all the way in high school, from when he was a kid with his dad, all the way through high school, Elite 11s, getting injured with his hip at Alabama, the draft, the whole process. You need to, I have goosebumps right now. You need to watch this, okay? Once you watch this and you watch how he has dominated every level, how he has overcome everything, how, I'll give this away. On the day before the championship game that he was not playing, he told his parents, he goes, if I get a shot tomorrow night, our name will be known all over the world.
Yeah.
Okay? You need to watch this. It shows Trent Dilfer ripping into his ass in Elite 11s, telling him you're undisciplined. And then he goes and they show you the video of him working out all the things that Trent told him to work on. And he comes back and he dominates Elite 11. He's number one,
Okay.
And it just, brother, you need to watch this. It'll make you cry. It'll make you cry. You'll get emotional. You'll
make me cry. That's a bold statement. I don't cry very often, Big-O.
Well, I'm 57 now. I seem to be crying a little bit more when I watch stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's my older age. I cried a couple times. I got to say, the bond of the family and everything, it got to me. They're like, dude, I'm telling you, it's 52, 53 of the greatest minutes of TV that you will ever spend in your life. It's something that you'll want your kids to watch. It's something that you'll want a family member to watch. Somebody else that you love, you'll want to watch. You want them to watch it because it's a great influence on human beings, on people that have to overcome everything, on who Tua is, on who his family is. I mean, it is effing phenomenal, dude. Okay? Effing phenomenal. Professionally done. It is awesome. I'm telling you. And then it leads me to this whole silliness that we've got going on. Well, if we get somebody else and put them in the system, they'll do the same thing Tua's doing. And that is some of the dumbest shit out there, bro. I mean, really. That's the part that I just don't get.
All right, so no more movies to give me because you've already filled up the list more than
I'm done.
I'm done. Give. But I will check this out. You said it's is it on Netflix or YouTube?
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube. Okay. Right on YouTube. It's made on you. You can see it right on YouTube.
I will check it out. On your question about Tua, I think that Joe Shad was trying to get Mike.
Oh no. Joe was nothing. That's wrong. People were picking on Joe for nothing. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the screaming A's and the other idiots that actually think you really can. Joe was asking on behalf of the idiots like Screaming A and others. Yeah. I defended Joe yesterday. I was his left tackle. Joe's fine, and so is Chris Perkins, by the way. People are picking on Chris because of the Tyreek thing, brother. Randy Moss and Tom Brady were MVP candidates. Mahomes and Kelsey, you could call them MVP candidates. This isn't the first time that a quarterback and a receiver are MVP candidates. I'm sure Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith were MVP candidates. Montana and Rice, bro. I've been around forever. This is nothing new. This is actually a compliment to the Dolphins that they have two players that could be in the MVP conversation. So I defend Chris Perkins and I defend Joe Shad, but I don't defend Screaming A.
I would say that Tyreek Hill is definitely in the top 3 of the MVP race, but I said it on NFL Network last week. If I think he's already up in the top of the running, but if Tua and the Dolphins beat the Eagles this weekend in Philly, then I think that Tua would be the clear-cut, overwhelming favorite for MVP through Week 7. Because really the only thing missing on his ledger for his MVP campaign, kind of like the Heisman, what is your signature moment? What is your signature win? And for him, a win over the Eagles and Philly over Jalen Hurts, his former teammate, and that elite defensive line in a rowdy environment, that would be his signature moment. That would be his elite win. And I think that's the one thing. And he's got an opportunity. Like if he doesn't win it this week, Kansas City might be another opportunity. But this is an opportunity, I think, for him to push forward. And so that's why I think that. And the reality is Tyreek's had an uphill climb because it's a quarterback award. Like it or not, it's a quarterback award because the quarterback's the most valuable player on the team. Like that's simply like by name of the award, the most valuable player is almost always your quarterback. Like if you look in the betting odds, if you see a quarterback out, that's what changes betting odds 2, 3, 4 points. Tyreek's out, it might change the line 1 point. It's just kind of, that's how they show value. That's how we see it. And I mentioned this also at Network. Like, I think people underestimate how complex the Mike McDaniel offense is and how much responsibility is on the quarterback. When they say, hey, you can pop any quarterback in that scheme, you don't know how much of the anticipation and the timing that Tua has that makes the offense go. How much the fact that his comfort and being able to get the motion to go at the right tick of time makes it function in the way it does. The fact that he can make reads and throw to spots before guys are even open. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that can do it the way he is. And I remember when people laughed at Tyreek, when he first signed here, saying that Tua is the most accurate quarterback in the league. I think if you look at the league right now, I think that you can make the really strong argument that Tyreek is right. That Tua is the most accurate quarterback in the league. Like, maybe he's not the most talented, maybe he's not the overall best, because Mahomes is going to have that, but the most accurate, and that is the skill set that I think helps him excel. His anticipation, his timing, his accuracy. He's excelled at that. He's made the right decisions at all times, and he's leading the number one offense at a historic pace. That's a quarterback, and that's the MVP. Like, to me, there's no other situation in time where you look at the scenario I just laid out and say, there's another reason. It's mainly because of the coach, or it's mainly because they've got a receiver that's doing these sort of things. I think that all those things are important factors. Tyreek helps, yes, completely. But, Tyreek has been better with Tua as his quarterback than he was in Kansas City. And so if you really wanted to get in the nitty-gritty, you can make an argument that Tua's made Tyreek better just as much as Tyreek has made Tua better. And Mike McDaniel obviously has had a huge impact on Tua's confidence. The scheme is tremendous. He is next level with all of this, but he doesn't play. Tua's the player. Like I understand the coach has a huge factor in this. But at the end of the day, when the snap is snapped, the quarterback's got to make the throws. The quarterback's got to make decisions. The quarterback's got to get the flow of the timing. And that's what Tua's done really well. And so that's why I am firmly on the Tua. If he continues this pace, if he gets a signature win, and if he stays healthy, should be the NFL MVP.
By the way, when you watch A Prophecy in the Making on the plane, watch the anticipatory throw he makes in the championship game. That is freaking just stupidly sick. Okay? And it's a throw that 99.8% of the players that have played that position, the history of college football, can't make that throw. Okay?
Right.
When that throw happens,
I'll check
you're gonna go, that's the throw O was talking about.
I'll check it out. And I always think back to the quote that Brian Daboll said, I think in college, where he's like, hey, most quarterbacks can hit a door from 30, 40, 50 yards out. The great quarterbacks can hit the doorknob, right? Tua can hit the keyhole inside the doorknob, right? And I think of that quote when I think of Tua and just the precision of the accuracy. That's his superpower. He's not going to throw the ball 70 yards like Justin Herbert. That's just okay. That's okay. He has a different superpower. Hulk has super strength. That doesn't mean that he's the best superhero, right? Other superheroes got different powers, and you can succeed in different ways. And I've seen this offense without Tua, and it's a drastically different offense. I've seen Teddy Bridgewater in this offense. I've seen
no touchdowns for Tyreek or Waddle. Yes. They didn't score a touchdown without Tua last year.
Yeah, and so I think that people vastly underestimate Tua and the impact he has on this offense. And I would say that I look at valuable player like this. If you had to lose one player, if you had to choose a player that you least like to lose for the rest of the season, I would much rather not lose Tua than not lose Tyreek.
Yes. Trust me. We've been here since Marino for 25 years.
Right. Like I'll tell you this. If you lose Tua, you're screwed.
You're
screwed.
It's over.
You're screwed. I'm not saying they're going to be the worst team in the league, but I don't think that you have any hope of, maybe the record maybe the early record start makes you hold on and maybe still can figure out a wild card spot, but you're not doing anything with it, right? You lose Tyreek. Yes, maybe it caps your ceiling. Maybe you're not a Super Bowl team anymore, but you're still going to be a contender. You still have Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle starts to do some of the Tyreek elements, and you adjust. You have some of the other receivers do it, and you figure it out. Tua is the most irreplaceable player on this team right now.
Have a safe travel. Watch it. You will thank me, my friend. You will thank me. I'm telling you.
Right.
Great watch. You're gonna really enjoy. Drop me a text when you land.
Okay.
Whether you liked it or not. Okay.
All right. I'm not sure if I can download YouTube on the plane, but I'll give it a try.
Yeah, you'll love it, man. I'm telling you. It is must-see TV. Safe travels, my friend. We'll catch up next week.
All right, appreciate you.
Thank you, sir. That is Cameron Wolfe with our KSDT CPA Miami Dolphins report.